Hello and welcome to episode 81 of Kaiju Curry House, the fortnightly show that gives you a healthy dose of kaiju goodness every other Monday. I'm Paul. I'm joined by Smokey Joe.
Booyah.
And I'm going to apologise for the last episode where I didn't ask Joe, what have Kaiju been up to? I just said casually, what have you been up to? Because for whatever reason, I guess I was tired. I don't know. Let me ask you properly, what have Kaiju been up to?
I feel like it's all the more the sin because you're the one that came up with that pun.
I know. I apologise to our listeners and viewers. I should know better. You'd think after 80 episodes, I would have kind of got it in my head by now.
I know, and it's funny because people do come out. They will pick those things up, don't they? Like it's a thing that we hear. So in terms of what I've been up to, I recently got my Father's Day present in. I realize it is
Father's
October.
Day?
Yeah, I realize it is October, but COVID and shipping and logistics, it's been a bit much. So my partner, Dawn, she ordered me the Shadow Monarch Vestatosaurus figure from Nanmu, and that was via the Big Bad Toy Store. And it's awesome. So for those of you who are not familiar with what the Vestatosaurus is, it is the big T-Rex from Peter Jackson's King Kong. There are 4 versions, all said and done, that they released. There are 2 color schemes. There's one which is the green jungle variant, and then there's one which is like a red ochre kind of variant that I didn't so much go for, but it is a beautiful figure. And then each one of those variations comes either with no base or with a base. And then the base itself is just a bunch of Kong skulls with bits of skeleton strewn about. I should correct myself from earlier. There was one other version that came out. There was like a metallic painted version. It was like bronzed, and that looked really nice too. But I like my natural beauty, so I kind of went with the green version that we saw in the film, and it's amazing. It only has one point of articulation, which is the jaw. It's beautifully, beautifully painted and sculpted. It balances on its own 2 feet, which is great. And it's not a shelf hog, but it is. It's more than 30 centimeters. It's about 30 centimeters long, actually. Yeah. So it's great. It's just really good. I really like the osteoderms. It's sitting here on my desk right now, but when we put this up on YouTube, I'll give Paul some pictures to show. But if you look up Nanmu Studio Shadow Monarch, that's the figure that I got. So I've had that.
Where is that going to live?
Right now, I have empty shelf space.
Oh, you do? Okay. So I thought your shelves were full.
I do. I actually managed to post some of the commissions that I've been doing. And then I finally sent our co-host with the most, that is kind of on a holiday right now. Bless him. Co-host Alex has been a bit run down the last few weeks. He has caught that bug that's been going around the world. And so we've been giving him his piece. And but to kind of cheer him up, I sent him 1 commission. And then I sent him an X Plus Destroy All Monsters Rodan because he's been trying to finish that set. So good guy. He's got some fun things going. But there we go. Paul, what have Kaiju been up to?
Okay, well, I finally finished Pandemonium, the book by Warren Fay, which I've been reading for the last 3 or 4 episodes now. I loved it. I really did. It was easily as good as the first book, and it just kind of ramped up towards the end. Warren has such a way of words that I could easily picture it. I mean, I was picturing it as a movie in my head as I was reading it, and I was just thinking, I want to see a big budget version of this on the screen, because some of the battles was just some of the scenes in it that I don't want to say because it'll spoil it, but there's just some really fantastic moments in that book. And yeah, I would highly recommend it to anyone who's kind of interested in that sort of thing. But yeah, big thumbs up from me. I actually did mention it at work. Not at work, because we're not at work, but on our team site. I mentioned if you're into books and like sci-fi, then check out this book. And a few people said, I will. And because I said, oh, because I had to plug the podcast while I'm there, I said, oh, by the way, if you like the book, we've interviewed the author. And then someone came back and he suggested that I check out a board game. No, I haven't checked it out. I'm not going to say that, but I have looked at it online. It's a game called King of Tokyo. Have you heard of it, Joe?
I've heard of King of Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you played it?
No.
No.
I've never really been one who's massively into board games.
No, me neither.
I'll play chess. I'll
Visual
play
gamer.
checkers. I played HeroClix. I think HeroClix is as close as I've gotten to like an actual board game that I really enjoyed. But other than that, I really haven't gotten into it. What I do love is card games. So
Like your
I do get into
Pokemon.
those. Magic the Gathering.
Magic,
and
yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah. Pokemon with the kids. Magic with my mates. So there we go.
Okay. Well, we'll just say, yeah, so chap called James at work recommends King of Tokyo if you like board games and kaiju. So I had a quick look online. It says it contains giant monsters, giant robots, aliens, and they're all trying to destroy Tokyo, and I think whoever does the most damage wins. So, it sounds like it could be fun, but I don't know if I want to spend £25 in it. I might just perhaps YouTube, see what it's like. Other than that, I played a game called Second Extinction on the Xbox. It's an early preview build. So although it's released, you can buy it. It's not the finished product yet. So they're going to keep adding to it. And I was really excited to play it, and I was terribly disappointed. So I'm hoping they do add more, because the idea is dinosaurs are back on Earth, but now they're mutated. So it's not just a T-Rex and a raptor or whatever. They've now got like poison or electricity powers or whatever. But the idea is it's a 3-player co-op. You just land wherever you're in a dropship. You can choose where you land on the map, and you've got to complete some missions while destroying hordes of dinosaurs. I admittedly played it solo, and I basically just did a mission, killed some dinosaurs, and I found it just a bit dull. The map was massive. You couldn't drive. I just had to walk for a long time, kill some things, and push a few buttons, and that was the mission done. And then I died because I couldn't take them all out. But if you want some simple fun, and don't mind violence, because I will say this is very graphic. There was blood and guts spilling out. There's dinosaurs' intestines all down the road as I shot them to bits with a minigun.
That's rather intense. Yeah.
It really. I was looking and I was thinking, wow, this is very, very graphic. Just limbs were flying off everywhere. But that's its audience. It is just go in and kill stuff, and that's fine, I guess. But I wanted a bit more of a story. I wanted to know why these dinosaurs were here. I wanted just a bit of a plot. I wanted some characters that I cared about, not just someone who. I think there was like 6 playable characters, and they all kind of looked very similar. They just had either big guns or small guns, and that was it. But hey, as I say, it's rare to see dinosaur games at the moment, so I gave it a shot. I just hope something better comes along.
If I'm going to recommend a dinosaur game to you, Paul, I'd recommend Saurian. Have you heard of Saurian?
I thought that was a character in Primal Rage.
Sauron is a character in Primal Rage, and a character in Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
But Saurian is a first-person game, or I guess you can go, like third-person view. But you play as one of a few different species in Hell Creek, which is a paleontological ecosystem 65 million years ago, give or take. And they've spent years and years modifying this game and making it the most accurate representation of a paleo ecosystem. The animals are all accurate to what has been discovered in the deposits from this era, from this locale, right down to the flora, like the actual plants and trees are accurate to that specific location. The climactic occurrences are accurate to that specific location. The species are accurate to that specific location. And indeed, they have been meticulously thought out, muscled, sculpted, the skin textures, the colors, everything. They have put it into Saurian. And It's a great game.
So what's the
And
purpose of the game? To
you're
survive?
just playing as a dinosaur in this dinosaur world with other people.
Oh, so it's a fully online game, and everyone plays as a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's different. That's the complete opposite of what I was just playing.
Yeah. So
Maybe
you're
for the
just
better.
yeah, you're just a dinosaur and you have to grow up and live and just try and survive. And it's very clever how they've done it. And it's a really wonderful game. And I think one of the things that they were looking at doing and releasing at the time that I last looked at the game was they were going to release a post impact, as in after the comet hit, environment that you had to try and survive. So I thought that was very interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
That's a
kind of a post-apocalyptic dinosaur survival game, but there's no people. It's just you're trying to survive the extinction event.
yeah. Because I mean, there's so many post-apocalyptic games where you are a human and there's been a zombie outbreak or something, something.
Yeah,
Never have we
but
seen it from a dinosaur's perspective
yeah,
before.
it's an accurate game, and you're just playing as a dinosaur. So for anybody who played with like rubber dinosaurs or was playing with dinosaurs as a kid, and like you never really grew up out of it or you missed it, yeah, you can play this game and you can be the dinosaur.
I'm going to have to YouTube this.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. It's incredible. And it was on Kickstarter like a while ago, but they just blew it out of the water and they just fully funded everything. It was incredible to watch. Yeah, it's on
Awesome.
Steam. I know you can find it there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. I was going to say, like, it is dinosaur endorsed by Joe. The raptors have feathers. The T-Rex does not have feathers. They, due to the most recent skin impressions, they had to kind of own up to the fact that the T-Rex might not have had feathers. It's kind of like how you see elephants. So elephants are mammals, but they're very sparsely haired, and that's because they have such a large volume. Elephants, it's really hard for them to overheat or underheat, or like get too cold. So their bodies maintain a certain core temperature really relatively easily. So tyrannosaurs being same size, if not a bit bigger, they would have had the same benefit. So if you want to look this up, folks, you can, but an old like zookeeper's tale would be if you leave a window open in the elephant enclosure during winter, the elephants won't mind, but the mice in the elephant house, they won't fare very well. It's because they have a very low surface to volume ratio and they'll get cold very quickly. So yeah, so skin impressions say low feathers, if no feathers on T-Rex, at least from what we've been able to see. So they took the feathers off their Tyrannosaurus Rex because at the beginning of the game it did have feathers. So I mean, it's just they're constantly tweaking it to make sure it's as accurate as possible. It's really neat to see that.
Oh, very cool. Okay, well, I'll say I'll check that out on YouTube, and we'll take a quick break.
There we go. One. Hello and welcome back to Kaiju Curry House. This is episode 81. You are listening to Smokey Joe and my accomplice Paul. Ready to go, Paul?
I don't have anything. It's just Paul.
For those of you who tune in on YouTube, Paul just did an amazing little dance there.
Pop, pop. So if you're watching Community.
So I have some news that actually dropped today for those of you who might be interested. So you don't know from previous episodes, Post Joe is really into his dinosaurs and large, dangerous, scaly things. So if you are also into large, dangerous, scaly things and replicas of large, dangerous, scaly things that just sit in your office, studio, shelf, wherever, and collect dust, much as like they do in my office, Nanmu Studios might ring a bell with you. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Nanmu, they do dinosaur figures, and they've kind of been focusing on Jurassic Park. They make very nice, accurate dinosaur figures. The Statosaurus, aka Shadow Monarch, that I have sitting on my desk right now, is a Nanmu Studios figure. So why am I talking about Nanmu? Where do dinosaurs factor into the equation? So we've spoken about dinosaurs in the past. We won't get into the subject of, why we have them on the podcast. But in this case, Nanmu is releasing a figure which they are titling Mordred. For those of you who do not know who Mordred is, he is the character in Arthurian legend who killed King Arthur. So, or at least delivered the blow that would eventually kill King Arthur. So Mordred is a stylized version or a homage to the Ultimasaurus. Now, I was talking with Paul before the podcast began, and I explained a bit of the history, which I'll do now. So in the 1990s, there was this great film that came out. It was called Jurassic Park. The book's great too. It's potentially even better, depending upon your tastes. So when that movie came out, Kenner Toys came up with a fantastic line of Jurassic Park figures. I think if you grew up in the 90s, you loved dinosaurs, the Jurassic Park figures were bee's knees. So there was the original Jurassic Park, there was the Lost World series, and then after those two films, they weren't really releasing anymore, but Kenner was like, oh, well, we still got the license for this, like what can we do with it? And Kenner came up with the idea of creating figures of hybridized dinosaurs, where dinosaurs with their genetic code have been mixed with that of modern animals. So you'd get animals that were like part Tyrannosaurus Rex, part Velociraptor, or, like part sauropod, part Spinosaurus, just, like odd mixes. And they had really crazy paint jobs. They were not naturalistic looking paint jobs at all. However, they were pretty cool. So some of the figures that you could probably look up would be the Velociraptrix, which was a Velociraptor and Archaeopteryx combined. It's a really crazy feathered Velociraptor. Another really cool one would be that they did a Tyrannosaurus Rex Alpha, and they did a couple of different versions of it. So they had the Thrasher T-Rex, which was a pretty famous dinosaur figure from the Lost World that they did, and they gave it a repaint. And then they had the big bull T-Rex from the Lost World that they gave a repaint. And those figures look pretty awesome. They look pretty bodacious. So the Ultimasaurus was supposed to be like the crown jewel of the line. So Kenner had like these crown jewels in each wave. Now, for the original Jurassic Park run, the Kenner Big Red Tyrannosaurus Rex was the one that everybody wanted. So for the Chaos Effect line, they'd already done T-Rexes. What are we going to do now? So they came up with the Ultimasaurus, which was a combination of a Triceratops, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a Velociraptor, and an Ankylosaurus. It had an armored back with a clubbed tail like an Ankylosaurus. It had these bodacious, big, thick legs like a T-Rex, but it had the Velociraptor feet. It had Velociraptor arms. And basically, it had a Triceratops frill with horns coming out of a Tyrannosaurus Rex head. And it looked the part of the Ultimasaurus, and it looked very Kaiju-esque, which is why Joe's bringing it up now. However, the line didn't do very well. Not many people were buying it. So the idea or the line got pulled, and the Ultimasaurus was only ever really seen on the back of packaging. We know what it was supposed to look like, but only prototypes ever made it into the market. It was never mass sold. So you had a bunch of kids like little Joe that were looking for this everywhere, could never find it. So now, current age, we have folks that grew up wanting this figure. They never got it. So Nanmu Studios, I guess someone on that team got the idea, we're going to make a realistic looking Ultimasaurus with a big, like Jurassic Park style paddock fence base, and it's going to look awesome. So they've just let drop the figure unpainted today, the day before Halloween, and they titled it Mordred, and they've said that they're going to be taking pre-orders in the first quarter of 2022. So by all means, check out Nanmu Studios. Look for their Mordred, aka Ultimasaurus, and get out your pocketbooks because this guy doesn't come around very often. It's a very niche want, but it's kind of neat because it's a bit of history because the Jurassic Park Chaos Effect line by Kenner, it kind of came through in Jurassic World and all the subsequent Jurassic Park films because we've been hybridizing dinosaurs in those films. And that idea was really first put forth to a large degree by the Chaos Effect line. So I thought it was pretty cool. Paul, you saw some pictures that I posted up, right?
Yeah, I saw the picture you put in the UK Kaiju Facebook group. But I am curious now. Did they mention a price or size of this thing? I'm assuming 30 centimeters, like most things, but did they
So
say?
it won't be 30 centimeters tall, I don't think. It will be a tall figure relative to my Vistatosaurus. My Vistatosaurus, which I would reckon would be on the smaller side of what this figure is likely going to be, is about 30 centimeters long. So it's probably going to be bigger than that. The other thing that you have to take into account is that Nanmu lets you buy direct, or you could buy through a third party, like the Big Bad Toy Store, who stocks a lot of Nanmu stuff, or Everything Dinosaur. If you're in the UK, they stock a lot of Nanmu stuff. So you'll be able to find it if you're looking for it. The chances are, if you buy direct from them, you'll have a lower price than through another online retailer.
Yeah, sure.
It's a lot easier to find those larger online retailers than potentially Nanmu. So there you go. But I know that they have a Facebook page, an eBay page, and that you can find their stuff on Amazon occasionally. There are different ways to get Nanmu, but like Big Bad Toy Store, Everything Dinosaur are the ones that I would recommend for those of us in the United Kingdom.
Okay, cool. And you mentioned Halloween, Joe, because we're recording this on the 30th, so tomorrow's Halloween. You'll be listening to this probably on the Monday, which will be the day after Halloween. But in keeping in touch with the Halloween tone, scary, we're thinking Matango, which was quite a spooky, not a jump scare film, but an
eerie
horror of what mankind's capable of. And there's a RIC-Boy exclusive Matango that I saw at our friends over at Awesome Collector for only $80, which seemed, pretty fair. And it's of the Matango, a mushroom man. So I don't think, well, it's definitely not something you commonly see, Matango merchandise.
No, you don't.
No.
If you're a fan of Matango, you really need to snap that up.
That's it. I'm saying it's up for pre-order now. So if that's your sort of thing, go put your pre-order now, because I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I don't know how popular Matango is. Is it a cult classic? Is it quite big? I don't know.
I think it's a good film, but like as with most horror films, there isn't a lot of rewatchability with it. It's just one of those things that you really enjoy. Like if you really love a horror film and you're rewatching it quite a bit, you generally will gravitate towards that niche merchandise quite a bit.
Yeah.
But because Matango doesn't necessarily have as huge a following as, say, Kong, Godzilla, Gamera, or like so many of the others that X Plus puts out, I think it bears worth repeating that this won't come out again anytime soon. You're not going to find a figure this good, this large for this classic film coming around the houses again anytime soon. So, like, again, go to your preferred retailer. We love Awesome Collector. Just grab it while you can. That's about what we can say. How big is it? Is it another 30 centimeter?
No. So I don't know, for whatever reason, X Plus are doing this as an 18 centimeter.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, because actually I can't remember what the X Plus range is, but an 18 stands out a bit. It's not normally, wasn't it 25 or 30?
Yeah, 25 or 30 is usually what they stick to. I guess 18 centimeters is because it's more humanoid in shape.
That's it. I'm thinking this doesn't actually, it's not going to go with anything else. This
is
going to be a standalone model.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a kaiju that you want to be in scale with. I mean, like they don't do a lot of human scale figures or like humanoid, like at our size range. So yeah, I guess 18 centimeters is probably their way of differentiating it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair size. You say it doesn't need to be massive because Matango is just it's man, isn't it? That's it. So what I did think though, this is just being me, why is there not a Death-A-Real version? Because that'd
Because
be
it's a
really
mushroom,
cool.
Paul.
Yeah, I
It's just
know,
a
but
mushroom.
you think of a mushroom, it is it's got the big head, which
I know, but
Death-A-Reals
like if they
emphasize.
okay, like yeah, it's a
I
cool
just
idea. Like I could totally see if you're a fan of the film, you totally want to see that happen.
I just think that'd be pretty cool.
I
That's
know,
all.
but like in my mind, if I saw them doing it in my mind, it would end up like being Toad from Mario, you
Yes,
know?
that's all I really want, isn't it? I want X Plus to make Toad from Mario.
Lordy. But yeah,
Sorry. That's just where my mind went. A mushroom would be a small thing with a big head. So, but hey, who knows? Maybe if they sell this really well, then they'll make a another model later on.
yeah, there
It
you
could be them
go.
testing the waters, couldn't it?
It could be. I'll tell you what though, I'm still waiting, for any X Plus employees, still waiting for that dragon to drop. You're not going to tempt me with anything else. I'm waiting for that dragon, that Ray Harryhausen dragon. I know it's coming.
Coming soon,
Ish.
hopefully. Because yeah,
No,
so that's it. Then you won't be buying anything else until that comes.
I'm not. Better release it if you want me to spend any more money with you. Because I don't know. I don't know. I was really gung ho. We were talking with Jeremy, and I was just like, "Oh, you got to do it as like a gargantuan series, and you got to make the big one so it's in scale with the Cyclops." And now I'm just like kicking
Just
myself
give
in
it
the
to
rear
me.
end. Just like, why did I say that? Why? Just I don't mind what you do now. Just I want it.
And while we're just talking about things coming out, there's one thing that I've recently pre-ordered, which is a Dragonzord figure by Super 7, because me and
They
Joe were
look
talking before,
gorgeous.
and I never owned a Dragonzord toy when I was younger, so um, I guess this is the child in me saying, "Hey, you can afford it, buy it." Um, and so I have. Now it's not out till September 2022. Bit of a wait, but it is on pre-order now.
That
It's
is
nine
quite a wait.
inches. It's quite a way, but it's 9 inches tall. So it's it's not massive, but it's a fair size. It is fully articulated, so I can put it in whatever pose I like, and it comes with interchangeable hands, so you can have just the normal hands that have the like the missiles ready to fire, or one where the missiles are actually firing. So there's plastic leading out from the fingertips all the way out, and then you see the rockets. So that looks very, very cool. And it also comes with a the Dragonzord coin and a tiny little, I guess, an in size Green Ranger you can stick, on his head or on his feet or whatever. But they're doing a whole range, so you can get all the Power Rangers, you can get Rita and the others, but Dragonzord's where it's at for me. And that was a
Dragon Sword's where
55.
it's at for everybody.
Yeah, it should be. That would be the right choice. $55. Again, it's awesome collector or wherever you like to make your purchase. But just a quick shout out to Dragonzord fans out there. Not out till next year, but it might be worth a pre-order just in case it's popular, which I think it might be.
Dragonzord was the Godzilla sword. Let's face it. He
Yeah,
was.
I think so.
It was. That's totally it.
It
It was
is.
awesome.
It was
It was
awesome,
like
wasn't it?
edgy. It was the anti-hero. I mean, like it was like the Vegeta or who else? Like the Venom. Like he started out a villain and
Yeah.
now he's like one of the goodies, and it's like, oh, he's good, but don't cross him. It's awesome. Love Dragonzord. Love Dragonzord.
Right. Okay, Joe, let's take our final break of the day. Hello and welcome back to the third and final part of Kaiju Curry House, episode 81. Now, as I said, Halloween's just passed, and the next event for you guys is Godzilla's birthday. November the 3rd, Godzilla turns 67 years old. And you might have seen a few weeks ago, there was a teaser trailer for a Godzilla versus Hedorah movie that's being teased. All I know is that it's going to be released on the YouTube, the official Godzilla YouTube channel, on 3rd of November. So keep your eyes peeled for that. In line with that, there's also been a ton of Hedora merch coming out of. I know on Awesome Collector there was just a bunch of about, I think, 8 different models, all these different variants where he's black or he's blue or he's translucent, just lots and lots of Hedora goodness. I thought the film was really cool, but I don't think we've seen anything since that film, and now suddenly they're just really celebrating him. So fill your boots if you're a Hedora fan. Are you excited for this film, Joe, to see Hedora versus was it the Final Wars Godzilla suit they're fighting in?
Yeah, I think it is kind of funny because everybody was geared up to see a Hedora versus Godzilla fight in that movie, and then it was 3 seconds, and everybody was just, really? So I think they might be throwing a lot of folks a bone because I don't think anyone really let that go.
No, there was more at the end, wasn't there? In the credits.
Yeah. There was a scene, like, we saw that when we watched it and we did our little like review, and we're just like, how silly is this movie? But we watched it through the credits. We're like, wait, Hedora's in the credits? That scene in the credits was longer than he was in the movie.
It was.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm glad for Hedora fans out there. Hedora isn't my cup of tea. I'm just waiting for this to finally come around and happen for Titanosaurus. You like when they celebrate Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Well, that's it. I guess, the day will come.
The day will hopefully come, yes.
But so I think it's just a short film. I'm going to guess, 10, 15 minutes, if that?
If that, yeah. Probably.
Oh, I'm going to be disappointed, aren't I?
I mean, Hedora is very disappointing. Alex isn't here to defend it, so I'm just going to make him crinkle his nose since he's listening.
I thought the film had some really cool moments.
It did. There were a lot of really like psychedelic moments, and it had a kooky soundtrack, and I really liked the metamorphosis that Hedora goes through.
That's it. I like the size.
The message is great.
Yeah, obviously very, very pro-Earth message there. And I don't know where they're going to take it. So it's going to be interesting to see one way or another. I mean, at least they're celebrating Godzilla's birthday, because I didn't know if Toho were going to do anything, and then just that sort of appeared.
Oh, I mean, like, when you say Toho and the rest of the world, they're probably they associate with Godzilla. Like that's like one of the most lasting staples of their film library. It's Godzilla, and they got to kind of make a thing of it. It's like if Disney didn't like celebrate a Mickey Mouse milestone. Now, granted, this is 67.
Well, that's it.
There's no special award for 67, is there?
Yeah, the 70th, I expect, a big blowout. But 67, I was like, well, yeah, it's his birthday, but what are you going to do? And the answer is Hedora.
It's really interesting because you and I might, well, I certainly hope we'll make it to 100 years of Godzilla,
Yeah, we should. Don't we,
Should, yeah.
All being well, as long as there's no
fingers crossed.
Pandemics or anything.
Yeah, we can't have any like pandemics or like global like fallouts or anything. No more of that. But touch wood, we'll hopefully see Godzilla's 100th birthday, and that'd be really something cool to see.
That is going to be something to see. I don't know what they'll do for that.
Who knows what will even be out by then? Like what kind of films or the media which you can enjoy to have these characters. But yeah, it'd be really neat. It's just interesting to see what they do at this point. Behind me with my Godzilla RIC-Boy of the 1984 film, I have an oxygen destroyer that was part of the 65th celebration. They gave a little keychain out at the Godzilla store, and it's just like little things like that for collectors or folks to have fun with. But Godzilla is one of those things that everybody will always be, oh yeah, it's Godzilla's birthday, because he has that notoriety. So it was fun. It is fun. I'll totally put on Gojira on 3rd and check it out. It'd be fun.
Yeah, so how will you celebrate Godzilla's birthday? I don't know. I'll be working during the day. I'll probably be quite tired.
What day is the 3rd this year?
So the 3rd falls on the Wednesday, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
So it's a midweek.
Funnily enough, that is curry night in our house. So we will have a Kaiju curry night.
Wow. I feel like I should have curry now.
Well, that's the thing. So my partner Don really likes curry. And a bit of news in our house. We are expecting there is a new Kaiju fan coming. And I'm super pumped and excited about that. I already have my first Godzilla ordered again, and yeah, curry still stays down, and it has been a staple. So we're gonna have curry on Wednesday, and I will probably try. Dawn hasn't seen the original Godzilla, so it'd be an opportunity to watch it.
Yeah, because she has she watched some of the Godzilla films?
She tried to get through Shin Godzilla, and we started that kind of late at the night. She didn't stay awake through towards the actual interesting bit, but she has seen the new ones. The new ones being the legendary films.
Yeah,
And she's a good sport. She will watch them with me. She watched Godzilla versus Megalon. That was the first Godzilla film she ever. Yeah, that's in this podcast. Like,
that's
and
love.
then I know, and then immediately she was just like,
I'm done.
It was no. She really enjoyed it for its awfulness, to be fair. Which, of course, immediately triggered Alex the second that she said that to him, which was great, So, she's a great sport. And I feel like curry night this week with a bit of Gojira, that'd be a fun little way to do it.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely check out the YouTube channel and see what the Godzilla versus Ghidorah is all about. At the very least.
Another thing we haven't talked about is Dune.
Dune. Oh, that's the one with graboids, yeah? Really, really big.
Oh my gosh. All right,
No?
so
okay.
Well, they're underground giant worms that can potentially eat people. So I mean,
and do they hunt by sound?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Graboid.
They're pre-graboid though. Like Dune is before graboids.
What year is Dune set in? Because the graboids are pre-Cambrian life forms, Joe.
Oh my lord. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna have this argument.
Just gonna wind you in. Why?
So, folks, if you like large, dangerous creatures that can wreak massive havoc, Dune centers on the desert planets of Arrakis. There are lots of wealthy, influential families with dynasties, empires, I guess you could say, that are affected by the planet Arrakis, which is a desert planet. They call it Dune, thus. It is the only planet by which you can find the spice. Now, the spice allows for interplanetary travel, and it's very important trade, and it's tasty stuff. It has a lot of uses, but it's the planet where you find the spice. And it is the story, it's very Game of Thrones, and like to give it, like to equate it to something more modern, in how families fight amongst one another, and how you have scheming and war and just armies coming together and stuff. But on the planet Arrakis, there are gigantic worms. And these worms are like forces of nature. Like you're not getting rid of them. You just got to get out of the way. And they are kaiju-esque in their nature. And Dune is widely regarded as one of the greatest works of science fiction ever. Frank Herbert wrote the book. In the book, much like Lord of the Rings, it might not be for everyone's taste. It is beautifully written, but it's not for everyone's taste if you want to read a book. However, the film has been getting fantastic reviews. And if you love science fiction, or if you're interested in really good science fiction with great plot, good special effects, like great characters, an immersive story where both men and women play pivotal parts, now's the time to go and see it in the theater. Now's the time to pick up the book. Now's the time to enjoy it. So we're mentioning it on the podcast, Dune. You'll love it. Or at least you're part of the demographic that should be drawn to it if you're listening to this podcast. So go for it. Sorry.
Okay.
Had to plug it.
No, that's fine. I saw that it was like #1 worldwide at the moment. So it's obviously reasonably popular.
It's already the sequel's already been greenlit.
Okay.
So it's been out a week. So it's already been greenlit. Well. So yeah, it's doing quite well.
Okay. Well, I'll check that out, or at least I'll check out the trailer and then see if I want to check it out. But I think that brings us to a close. So, Joe, if nothing else.
If nothing else, I've recommended a few things on this podcast episode, so I'm just going to go over them again. Check out the trailer for Dune. And check out Nanmu Studios, the Mordred figure. I know that they've posted it on their Instagram, and I have also put it up on our Facebook page so that you can see one of the production images of it. So there you go. 2 things from Joe to check out.
Okay, very cool. I guess I'll do something similar and just say, if you like Dragonzord, go pre-order the Super 7 Dragonzord from your retailer of choice. And also, if you like Matango, quick, because I don't think X Plus will make a lot of them. So yeah, go pre-order that. And of course, please enjoy Godzilla's birthday in whichever way you choose. You could watch the original film, you could watch Godzilla vs. Kong, you could listen to Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult, or you can just watch the Godzilla vs. Hedorah on YouTube. But however you choose to do it, just celebrate love of the G-Man.
Happy birthday, G-Man.
Happy 67th birthday, Godzilla.
There we go. Well, thank you folks for listening. This has been episode 81 of Kaiju Curry House. You're all stars for joining us tonight. And as always, keep it Kaiju.